Hello. I've got some severe technical problems here today and yesterday. So, having a bit of a problem keeping in frame. So, I'm doing this the old-fashioned way, and I hope you'll be able to see everything. I've come along to share some journals that I've made. There's 4 of them. I'm not going to do a flip through of all 4. What I'll do is show you one and then just show you the basics of the others. Now, these are very, very late Christmas gifts, and in the near future, I will be doing a course, hopefully, as long as I can get my technical issues sorted out. It's an issue with all sorts of things. On 2 or 3 variations of the cover that I've made for this, including a proper journal cover incorporating this idea. So I've made these as ring binders because there were a lot of things that I wanted to put into these that wouldn't go into a standard style journal. Now, this tag is made with elements from my new kit. The background tag, I've also got some Tim Holtz elements on here. I cut a frame out into here, and you'll see what I did with this frame shortly. Now, I hope I'm in the right place. I've got some wire work down here with some beading, sewn tag. They're onto recycled packaging, so they're very sturdy. I'll put that there. This is the cover. There's lots, and again, I have no idea if you can see this, but there's, they quite a lot involved with the covers. I'm just hoping you can see. So I apologise for the 4 people that these are coming to. They are late, and unfortunately, the postage system is not great at the moment, and I still actually can't post to the particular countries these need to go to. I've got a pocket at the front here with a vintage book page, and the reason for that is I backed the pocket and then realised I couldn't actually put too much in them because it was too tight against the cover. I've got some little bags here that I've gessoed and done some collaging on, and inside the bag there is a tag from the cover, and that's the inside of the frame from the front cover. So they just slot into there. These are very much writing journals, so there's lots of cards for writing on. These are pages from the new kit. They're not all in the journal because I printed them out 2 or 3 times, and they're spread out amongst the 4 journals. But inside each one there is a tag that they're mounted onto cardstock. But I've folded the pages in half, stitched around them to form the pocket. Got some sewing on tea-dyed paper, some vintage pages with some stamping. These are vintage notebook papers. This is from a stamp album, a vintage one. That's another piece from the kit. Got a bit of collaging on here, fabric, and done a little button. Some stamping there. That's a vintage French stamp that I picked up from a vintage shop. More vintage note paper. And the note paper, I mean, it varies from 1920s to about the 50s, I think. There's another tag, and that goes into this pocket. Some gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous tweed trim. That's from obviously the other page. Vintage book pages, and I've left all the raw edges. Used a little frame and a little mini Rolodex card that I've collaged. There's a vintage envelope something could go in there. More vintage book page. This is from a vintage note paper book. Some vintage ledger. They all have one of these little notebooks in with additional writing space. That's just tea stained. This is a vintage page. These pages were inspired by the lovely Susan, who is doing a project at the moment called where you start with a leaf. And I didn't have any actual leaves. Well, I did have some leaves, but they're dried and a bit brittle. So I started with some skeleton leaves that I've been meaning to use, and I've used those in a pocket. So not quite the thing that Susan had in mind, but that was my inspiration. More tea stained paper. This comes from the kit. And I've, like I said, I hope I'm in frame. I've popped a little, well, that's actually quite a large one of those photo hooks, photo D-rings, picture D-rings, I think they're called. 2 pages there. I've added a large butterfly. They all have one of those, more tea stained. Another one of these pages. And another tag in there. This tag is not from the kit. Most of them are, I thought. Tea stained paper. This is a vintage diary page. This is a vintage envelope, which is a button envelope, and it was actually that way round, but I folded it backwards. It doesn't fold perfectly, but I like that. And this is obviously more writing space in there. This is just one of my faux, I don't know if you can see, faux rusted paper clips. That's done with patina ink paint. Little page with a bit of writing space on there. More tea stained paper, and that's tea stained. This is another vintage ledger page. They all have one of these double pages that I got out of an original book. That's a tag from the kit. Just this is a gessoed and some stamping and a little bit of washi on there with a tag. And this side again, more gesso and some stamping. Just tried to use some of the stamps and things that I don't really use very often. They all have, this is another vintage ledger page, and they all have a tag in from the kit that I've added some words to, and a photograph using Tim Holt's new inlets, I think they're called, where they emboss and cut at the same time. It was slightly smaller than I was expecting, but I've used a metallic paper cardstock, and then I've used alcohol inks to give those, and I don't know if you can see the effect because I can't see what you're seeing. I have a few of these vintage Victorian photo albums that are, some of them are in, they're not all of them, they're not in fantastic condition, but I've used the pages in this. I really wanted to use these, so I've used some printed images in those. Another book page that I've just done some sewing on. This one, there's nothing in that. They've all got a blank one in, so you could add paper if you wanted. Another button card from the kit. That's just a skeleton leaf print. Book page. Another piece of vintage ledger. And a piece of vintage stamp album and some vintage pages on there, and that is the back cover, and there's another tag from the kit on the back. So this one is secret. I'm going to put that aside. Hopefully I'm pulling this. This one is vintage. Another vintage book page. It's the same. I'm not sure if this is the same. Yeah, it's the same. So that is vintage. Oh no. Let's see what's happened. My garment pin has popped undone. Oh, and I don't know if you can see, I made these. They're I made the little tiles and cut them out and heat embossed them into these inked. These were actually jewellery. They're earrings. So I made those too. So that's vintage. This one is found. And again, it's very, very similar. That's the tag in that one. And the other two have a 2 aperture page in them. Very much the same. And then this one is Mischief. And again, all the same. Obviously the pages vary, but what's in them is very, very similar. So that is my journal share for today, and I hope to be back with a make video either later today or tomorrow, but I do have to sort out these technical issues because they're actually quite severe. Basically I've run out of space on the Mac. It's very new, so I have to remove a lot of stuff and get it on the hard drive. And when I filmed yesterday, what I didn't realise is when you try to transfer something onto the hard drive, if there's not enough space, it just says, we'll give you 40 seconds. There's room for 40 seconds, but we're not giving you any more than that. So you're working and can't figure out where your video's gone, and it's because you've only got 40 seconds of it on your Mac. And now my air server isn't working, so I can't see what I'm filming. So I do apologise, but I do need to sort that out before I do a craft with me video. So these will probably be even later because we're waiting for the post office to say it's safe to post, and some countries are not even allowing UK post at the moment, so it's all a bit difficult. I hope you are all staying safe, and I hope to see you all again very soon. Take care.